Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell the truth about silver. Today is Tuesday the 7th of September 2021. And earlier today we produced our Tuesday morning update, to which we've placed a link in the description box below. Now in that video we briefly mentioned that El Salvador has today formally launched Bitcoin as legal tender. And on our Crypto Plus channel we've produced a video highlighting this. Again, a link is given below. In this video we shall briefly look at the El Salvadorian launch and also a couple of articles suggesting that Bitcoin could be digital gold. And then we will give our comments. So let's take a look. Now firstly we'll take a look at this Reuters article, headline El Salvador leads world in adopting Bitcoin as official currency, as it nicely encapsulates what's actually been going on. El Salvador on Tuesday became the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. A real-world experiment proponents say will lower commission costs for billions of dollars sent from abroad, but which critics warned may fuel money laundering. The change means businesses should accept payment in Bitcoin alongside the US dollar, which has been El Salvador's official currency since 2001 and will remain legal tender. So there's no direct threat there, at least not for now. President Nayib Bukele, who has pushed for adopting the cryptocurrency, says it will help Salvadorans save about $400 million. The government calculates which is spent annually on commissions for remittances, while giving access to financial services to the unbanked. The 40-year-old president is popular with the public, but has been accused of eroding democracy, including by the administration of US President Joe Biden. Now, our comment to this, quite frankly, is he is giving his people a secondary option. And we all know that in the world of banking and finance, not everyone can have a bank account. Numerous reasons for that, but the bottom line is everyone can have a digital wallet, at least given by the government. Now, whether we still have Big Brother, therefore looking at one's ownership, is another matter. But that said, nevertheless, this president is trying to give people an option. Doubters say Bitcoin could increase regulatory and financial risks for the Central American nation, and polls show Salvadorans are wary of the volatility of the cryptocurrency, which can shed hundreds of dollars in value in a day. And in fact, we've seen this. Yesterday, Bitcoin was up, and the last 2 days was up virtually $2,000, and then this morning has fallen $1,300 in the space of an hour and a half. So there is volatility, of that there is no doubt. Many people, though, are recommending that you don't actually use Bitcoin as a currency, but you hold it or hodl it, as the common parlance suggests, as some are predicting that it's going to be worth 100 to 200,000 by the end of this year and $1 million within 5 years. And they give various reasonably rational explanations as to how that could occur. However, to warm up a skeptical public, Bukele has promised every citizen $30 in Bitcoin if they sign up for a government digital wallet. Ahead of the launch, El Salvador bought 400 Bitcoins, so they will have bought 400 Bitcoins at around $50,000 to $52,000 each, to help drive the currency price above $52,000 for the first time since May. In the early hours of Tuesday, El Salvador's wallet had not appeared on Apple, Google, and Huawei's app. However, prompting a series of tweets from Bukele, including one with a red-faced angry emoticon. "Release him at Apple, Google, and Huawei," Bukele said. The wallet was later available from Huawei. Some citizens were optimistic. It's going to be beneficial. We have family in the United States, and they can send money at no cost, whereas banks charge. So basically, it's giving people additional options. Whether it's going to lead to, shall we say, Disaster? Time will tell. Analysts fear adopting the cryptocurrency could fuel money laundering. Now, we smile at this because we're fully aware that as far as Bitcoin is concerned, it is visible, ownership is visible on the blockchain. You may not know the name of the person who owns the various wallets that are available on this blockchain or the holdings, but they are aware of the transactions. And law enforcement can, with enough skill, track down the individuals ultimately. There's far more money laundering taking place with cash than there is with cryptocurrency, certainly compared to Bitcoin. After the Bitcoin law was approved, rating agency Moody downgraded El Salvador's creditworthiness, while the country's dollar-denominated bonds have also come under pressure. The move has muddied the outlook for El Salvador's quest for more than $1 billion in financing from the International Monetary Fund. But Bukele, who does not shy away from controversy, on Monday retweeted a video that showed his face superimposed on actor Jamie Foxx's in a scene from Django Unchained, a Quentin Tarantino film about American slavery. The video portrayed Bukele whipping a slave trader who had the IMF emblem emblazoned on his face. Now, politics aside, of course, the institutions are going to hate this, the financial institutions of the world. And we should not be surprised at that. Now, this video is really asking the question, is Bitcoin really digital gold? And just around a year ago, there was an article published in Forbes, in fact on the 11th of May 2020. I'm going to not pronounce his name correctly by the looks of things, but it's written by Xolali Ziga, and he's founder and chairman of Cash Angel, and award-winning investor in 2020. This is what he has to say. When it comes to comparing a new asset class with a traditional one, investors have a tendency to ask, is it really comparable? Since many people ask how Bitcoin compares to gold, I'll review several aspects of these two assets, which I believe will help answer that question. In gold we trust. First, let's start with the yellow metal. Humans have valued gold for thousands of years, from ancient Egypt, where it served in tombs and temple rituals, to the current jewelry industry. Gold has always had value. Gold has also played numerous roles in the US economy because of its rarity. The gold standard was one of them. For decades, until President Nixon put an end to it in 1971, the value of a dollar was fixed to a specific amount of gold. Indeed, according to the philosopher Aristotle, money has to respect three main criteria: a medium of exchange, a unit of account, and a store of value. Today, we no longer use gold as money. Instead, it is used primarily for jewelry and as a safe haven in the form of bullion and gold coins, though it can also be used in other areas such as electronics, dentistry, and even aerospace. The price of gold is also an indicator of a country's health. Usually, during a period of expansion, gold prices remain steady or lower. On the other hand, during recessions, the prices of gold rise. For example, in mid-September 2008, at the height of the financial market crash, the price of gold dipped below $740 an ounce, according to Kitco.com, but in August 2011, gold rose to over $1,900 per ounce, which is higher actually than it is today. One interesting note is that whatever generation you're part of, baby boomer, Generation X, millennial, or Generation Z or Z, you have at least heard about gold. Therefore, since it has been able to stand the test of time, gold remains an asset that is not ready to disappear yet. So that's pretty clear, and we're sure something that all of us on this channel believe. But what about Bitcoin? Bitcoin was created in 2008 with the goal of having a currency that is independent from any government or bank. This idea came from observing the effects of too much centralization. The idea of creating a new decentralized currency seemed idealistic at first, but history has showed us that it can be done. Bitcoin was worth very little in the beginning, but then interest in the currency grew when it reached parity with the dollar on February the 9th, 2011. Between 2011 and the end of 2015, Bitcoin went from $4.60 to $426, a growth of over 9,000% based on my analysis of prices using Cointelegraph data. Then from April 27, 2015 to April 27 of this year, now that's 2020, it rose more than 3,300% from $224 to $7,787. This kind of growth has never happened in the history of finance, which is why this is something to pay close attention to. However, what we can say, with the subject now, a benefit of hindsight, is that within a year, That price of $7,787 rose to $64,000. Another 9 times. At the moment, it's standing at $51,000. However, one of the big flaws with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is its volatility. With double-digit variation per day being common, Bitcoin falls into the high-risk asset category. Despite this, its profitability thus far is undeniable. Today, with over 10 years of existence and all the other crypto assets in circulation, experts generally believe that Bitcoin is here to stay. Verdict: gold versus Bitcoin. For Bitcoin to be considered digital gold, it should have the same attributes as gold, with the obvious exception of tangibility. It checks off the first major attribute, rarity. Both have limited supply. Regarding the currency aspect, let's compare the 3 criteria mentioned earlier. Medium of exchange: both gold and Bitcoin are mediums of exchange because we can trade them for goods and services. Unit of account: we can divide gold into half ounces or quarter ounces, and we can divide Bitcoin down into 1 Satoshi, which equals 1/100 millionth of a Bitcoin. And store of value. This one is arguable. Usually store of value refers to an asset you rush to buy during economic turmoil because it has intrinsic value. Bitcoin has played this role in the past, but during the current crisis, its behavior has been more similar to the stock market. Many Bitcoin skeptics also argue that it has zero intrinsic value since it's intangible. However, does intrinsic value only mean tangibility? What about the security behind Bitcoin? What about the whole network of blockchain that makes Bitcoin highly secure? What about this new way of creating trust in society? With a new era coming, especially with the current economic downturn, I think we might have the answer in the next couple of months or years. I believe we will see the power of Bitcoin as a store of value, and that next year could significantly outperform the stock market, which we now know it did. For now, gold stays gold as a hedge against financial uncertainty, and Bitcoin stays Bitcoin as a speculative investment. However, let's not forget that cryptocurrency is a relatively new way to exchange value globally, safely and privately, with a sense of freedom many are seeking to revive. Quite a prophetic article, if we say so ourselves, and something far more up-to-date, literally published just a few months ago and updated literally on the 24th of August by CoinDesk. The node: Bitcoin is digital gold because people say it is. It's a very short article, so I'll read it. In early March, that's 2021, the mobile software firm Mighty made headlines as the first public company to put Ethereum on its balance sheet along with Bitcoin. Today, it announced another allocation to those 2 cryptocurrencies. In its initial announcement, the firm said blockchain could disrupt finance and technology like mobile internet has disrupted the PC internet. It holds a particularly high opinion of Ethereum and could imagine investing in projects or protocols or even developing Ethereum-based applications. But it's Mighty's reasons for investing in Bitcoin that actually bear examination. One of several publicly traded companies to put Bitcoin on its balance sheet over the past several months, Mighty thinks of the cryptocurrency as an alternative store of value. Amid aggressive increases in money supply by central banks globally, Bitcoin has a chance of holding its value, a board member statement says. But the consensus opinion around Bitcoin is more important to Mighty than its fundamentals. Despite cryptographic features including limited supply, portability and fungibility, Bitcoin's price is primarily a function of future demand that is driven by consensus of investors and the general public. In other words, Bitcoin excels as a store of value because that's what other people say it is. And we've emphasized this so many times. People accepted rocks as money because people valued rocks. There was a time when people accepted feathers and seashells. If people see it as money, then it's money. Until they don't see it as money. And the same could equally apply to the US dollar. Recently, the board has seen growing momentum in the consensus building process. Mighty writes, it noticed conservative institutions such as insurance funds, asset managers and other publicly listed companies like Tesla, unnamed, moving to accept Bitcoin payments as well as adding it to their treasuries. So big institutions and companies and corporates are now taking on board Bitcoin. It's common to describe Bitcoin as digital gold, though as Mighty's announcement shows, that may be a little more than a meme. Bitcoin maintains its value because more and more people believe it will. As Bloomberg Tracy's Alloway once argued, Bitcoin is whatever you want it to be, making it really the perfect postmodern financial asset. There we have it. Does it matter why Mighty is investing in Bitcoin? Exactly. Not really. It's all the same to Bitcoin, which carries on regardless, whatever people think of it. As Satoshi said, it might make sense just to get some, in case it catches on. So there we have it. That's an argument. There are numerous articles on this subject as to whether Bitcoin will replace gold or not. In terms of practicality, the answer will be no. But in terms of investment and a store of value, it's open for debate. What we are seeing is that the younger generation are accepting cryptocurrencies. Perhaps that will end once they get burned financially, which some of them will. Or perhaps it is here today and here to stay. And as El Salvador has shown, a major country has now adopted it as legal tender. And we know there are others in the pipeline. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Do share them. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, give us a thumbs down. But whatever you do, please subscribe, press the bell sign, and we'll see you next time. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management, and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.